Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. As always, Scott Carson, excited to be here with you today. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Happy Note Love. I know many of you guys are out there celebrating Valentine's Day with chocolates or roses or dinners and things like that. And it's always nice to have a loved one with you when you wake up on this day. I also want to say that it's always nice to see a lot of people posting things about their spouses and loved ones. That's always a phenomenal thing on Valentine's Day. But always glad to be here. Big shout out to our extended Note family. Nothing but love coming from us here on this Valentine's edition of the Note Closer Show podcast. We have gotten such an amazing amount of feedback from people listening. So thank you so much. Keep those emails, keep those letters coming. As always, glad to hear what you enjoy about the show, what you love. Any topics you'd love for us to see us covered is always recommended and appreciated as well. We have a kind of a fun thing we'll go through here in a little bit, but we're getting ready to start something here over the next few weeks that I think is going to add a lot of value to you guys. We're going to start focusing on some specific markets, some specific cities out there that I believe have a lot of value for the note investors, the distressed investors game. And not every one of these cities is going to be the top 10 markets to move to. I think there are a lot of value to these markets. And so I'm bringing on some of my guest experts, some of the people that are actually investing or working in these markets that really have a lot of resources. And so it's some friends, and it's also some people that I'm interested in getting to know better along the way as well. So, but before we dive into this episode of the Note Closer Show, I always love to hear from those that are watching this on Facebook Live. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, hey, feel free, shoot me a text message, shoot me an email. Glad to hear what you love. Anything you dislike too is always appreciated as well too. But good morning to a lot of people out there: Donovan, Teresa, Kevin, Stacy, Clifton, Casey. Morning Valentine, back at you. A lot of you. I see a lot of great people join us on the live stream, which is great. But when I was thinking about today's episode, I was thinking about there's a lot of things that I love about the note industry. There's a lot of great things that I absolutely love about what we do on a daily basis. And so I thought I'd start it off and kind of rattle through it, share a little bit of the inside of what we have, and then we'll go from there. All right. This might be a short episode, might be a fast episode. Who knows, depending on what comes across. But number 10 on the things that I do, I honestly love the opportunity to travel like we have. We have traveled over the last years quite a bit. I've traveled quite a bit over the last 7 years to some really cool places for our note business. From speaking at different expos to hanging out in Vegas for the NoteWorthy for almost a month, and PaperSource and other things like that. We had a great episode yesterday with Bill Mencarow from PaperSource. If you're listening on iTunes or Stitcher, you definitely want to check out that episode. Just did a great job of that. From New York and New Jersey, hanging out with our guys. Steph and I are talking about when we used to have workshops that we had at hotels, just the great stuff of having Joel Markovitz and Val Sotir and Marc Gold and Jack Krupey, just to name a few, Aaron Young, just to name a few of the guys that would come out and hang out with us, and we'd have fun in the evenings. It was just really great. We kind of missed that a little bit, but that's some great things. The travel just was really cool going to places and meeting with a lot of interesting people and seeing a lot of things firsthand. Travel is always the best thing. Okay. Number 9, I love the fact that we can do this note business from anywhere. I love the fact that if you've got internet and a laptop and cell phone, you can reach out to asset managers. You can reach out to your borrowers if you need to. You can reach out to your vendors, and you can do it from wherever you're at. We've had students who have closed deals from the beaches, and from beaches to Barcelona to Australia to everywhere in between. I mean, I was in the middle of a cruise ship last month talking to my vendors and getting some deals done in between excursions. That's just a fun thing with being able to do this from anywhere, not having to really be in an office unless you really want to be. All right. Clifton, thank you. Love that you would love week close notes as well. 8, I love the fact that we actually have more inventory still than a lot of the other fix and flippers, the other apartment investors, landlords. We get a lot of people that come into the note game looking for inventory because this is still the place where we see it at, where we still find it at, everybody. And so we're pretty stoked about that. There's still a lot of inventory out there. It's still very prevalent with stuff. You got to search a little bit more than you used to, but we're still leaps and bounds ahead of those that are tracking down distressed buyers or distressed homeowners trying to buy the foreclosures or taking over subject to. We really are far ahead and beyond a lot of those entities or other investors. It's great. Number 7, I mentioned this earlier. I love our vendors. I love the people that we work with for vendors. I love people, even some of the vendors that we don't use are still great people and love to work with them. It's one of the great things about going to events is getting a chance to hang out with our vendors, build some of those relationships up and really be able to talk with them about what's going on and get to know them as individuals, because it often happens that you get to know somebody individually. It often works really, really well together. Okay. Number 6, I just love the people. I love our Note family, our students. I love the people outside of our vendors. It just seems that we've got a really, really, really friendly group of individuals. I know that some people have mentioned that they thought when we talk about a Note family, when they've come to our workshops or they've come to our fast track training, they're surprised at the giving of people. And that doesn't surprise me because we've got a great group of people. If you're an asshole, you don't last around this business long. A lot of people are willing. I know that some of my mentors that I have had as mentors over the years have been just some of the best and amazing people, still able to call them friends. And that's really, really good. That's one of the big things I think it's important is you always want to give respect to your mentors, the people that have brought you up and brought you along, because, they didn't necessarily have to do that. They don't necessarily have to give you a lot of information or help you with your outside businesses, things like that. And that's a very, very important thing. I think it's great to be able to help people. I love that every day, number 5, every day is a different day. It's not the same thing, monotonous. Some days we're working on assets. Other days we're working on market. Other days we're working on reaching out to banks directly. Every day in the office here is a little bit different. That's what keeps me coming in, keeps me excited to come in here. You have a variety of things that are going to happen, raising capital, the workouts. There's a lot of things you can be doing as a Note investor that a lot of other people are missing out on. I mean, I think it's one of the most beautiful things out there is that every day is a little bit different. All right. I love that we're able to help people, especially with our loan modifications, what I'm talking about, with our borrowers. For those that are willing to work with us, I'm always glad to help them out. And I love to hear them overcoming obstacles. Now, look, we can't help everybody. I wish we could, but there's some people that just don't want to be helped. I mean, for those that reach out to us when we drop them letters or our servicers reach out to them and try to get them to work with us, those are good people. We're glad to help those out people. But it's the people that are just deadbeat borrowers you just can't help sometimes. If they're not going to help, you don't run a charity. I don't run a charity. So it's important to keep that in mind when you're doing stuff. But I still get letters from borrowers that we modified a year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, who are still paying on a regular basis. And that's a phenomenal thing. Okay. I love the money with Notes. That's not a lie. I love the return on investment that we see. I love the fact that we make more money by reperforming and keep as reperformer and often high returns versus foreclosing. That's always a phenomenal thing. And it doesn't matter what aspect of paper you're in. If you're in reperforming, great. If you're in performing notes, great. If you're non-performing, great. First, great. Second's great. If you're in the business, you're going to be making money. Paper is one of the most powerful tools out there. And we're always happy that people are making money. You heard Bill Mencarow talk about how he's buying mostly performing notes yesterday and using his own money to make returns, making double-digit returns. That's great. It may be a low double-digit, but it's still better than anything in the stock market or certificate of disappointments or even a lot of 401ks you're seeing out there. So that's the thing to keep in mind is that if you get into it, you're buying assets, you're making offers, and using other people's money to do it, it can be a true win-win if you take care of the deal. All right? That leads us to number 2. I love the fact that we have so many different exit strategies, basically 10 different exit strategies. And for those that are joining us and like, what the hell are the exit strategies, Scott? We've never been through a workshop or anything with you. You always have the option to wholesale the note if it's something you're not going to buy, which is fine. You have the opportunity again to reinstate, start making payments on time, which is great. You also have number 3 to have them start a trial payment plan, loan modification is a thing that you can do, okay? If it won't be a loan modification, then the opportunity to short sell it, all right? If they won't short sale it or can't short, they always can offer up a cash payoff. Payoff is low enough. All right. Number 6 is a deed in lieu, cash for keys, which is nice. It happens. We're offering that up to a couple borrowers today. Did one yesterday, actually. Okay. Number 7 is you can allow them to do a loan assumption. Let somebody come in and take over the payments. A lot of people don't do that. We've done that with a couple of our deals here in relatively in the last couple of months, just working with new borrowers who are friends or family members or acquaintances of our existing borrowers to come in and get everything taken care of to take it over. Number 8 is to foreclose. It's not our most happiest thing to do, but it still happens about half the time. And number 9 is if we don't want to foreclose, we don't want to do any of that, we can always sell that note and resell it off to somebody else as well, is number 9. And number 10 is a lot of things people forget with things like that. And I like 10 because there are some government programs that are available, some different things, not as intense as they used to be with the hardest hit funds and things like that. I only count that as extra gravy, never count it as really a true exit strategy. But the 10th strategy when it comes to that is using hardest hit funds or any other government programs that are available out there. And a lot of different states have different things to modify, okay? But the number one thing that we love, the number one thing that we love is we see the changes and seeing people literally succeed as note investors and overcome a lot of obstacles, okay? That's our greatest thing that we see from people. We see the changes in people from, I'll give you an example. Wayne Snell has gone through a dramatic change in a great way. Gabe Cass has done a great job out of California, seeing his mental change, being from distressed and stressed out with his boss and his job to where he's at now, loving life. I love seeing the life. The fact that people like Gene Chandler have stopped their hot shot business and just focus on notes full time. I love the fact that Robbie Woods has gone from being a deadbeat borrower to doing something that he enjoys and has found something in his niche that he really loves. Okay, we've helped so many people overcome things or make money. That is truly our biggest thing, is that we love seeing success stories, and we love seeing people really take advantage of the opportunities, and they can do it in a timely fashion. I know a lot of people are looking for get rich quick. This is not a get rich quick scheme. Notes are definitely not that, but it's a get rich quick. It's a get rich over time thing. If you're doing it and working it, and there are opportunities to have this expedited in 6 weeks to get on track, or a lot of people take 6 months. Some people want to take the free route, and the free route really has not a lot of value to it. We see a lot of changes taking place in our fast track and mastermind members, and we absolutely love seeing that. That is our favorite thing, is hanging out 3 times a year with our mastermind members. It's like a Valentine's Day every 4 months, because we see so much passion. We see so much changes for the good. We see people overcoming obstacles and lights literally going on brighter than, the light on the top of the Rio. Or you get what I'm talking about. But those are really the 10 things that we love the most. I know there's times that, we love seeing people overcome things. We love seeing people just absolutely do some amazing things. And honestly, Notes has served as a launching platform for people into other things. And I don't get upset about that. I love the fact that I've seen friends of mine and students like Aaliyah Ott and Terry Garner, who started out in Notes with us. They did well with Notes. It progressed to the self-storage side. It led as a vehicle to them to get where they're at now with Investors in Action. They're starting to teach people in California. I love seeing like Joseph Hobbs, who's been a mastermind member in the past, and he's working with Paige Ponzarello, the cash flow chick, and they started teaching workshops on note investing down in Modesto or Southern California, and educate. Look, there's a lot to go around. There's plenty to go around, as long as you do it with grace and class and things like that. I'm also very proud of. I'm very proud of the difference that has happened with me over the last 10 years. It has not been without trials and tribulations. It has not been without peaks and valleys like anything else. But I would not change too many things along the way. I would change a few relationships along the way, but you never know what's going to go south until it's after the event. So, see if we have any questions or comments from people out there. Donovan says, I love the postcard. Donovan, thank you very much, bud. Appreciate it. You for being a guest on the Note Closure Show podcast around the holidays. It's awesome. Thanks, Clifton. Thanks, Kevin. More Casey. I love seeing that a lot of people are networking and expanding themselves, or people partnering with other people, joint venturing on things. That's always a great thing as an extra bonus. People raising capital when they really didn't have any belief in themselves to take things to the next level. And that's an important thing. I think that's the sure sign of success. I don't think it's necessarily about your success individually. I think it's more about the people that you surround yourselves with and how successful they are. I think that's really one of the biggest things in life, that if you're truly a mentor to people, that's what's most important, is making the people around you successful. It should not all be about you. And I think that's one of the best things that we've done is instead of being I close notes, it's we close notes. Any questions, comments from anybody out there on Facebook Live, out there listening? If you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, any of the podcasts on there, first of all, thank you for listening. As always, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for making this one of the hottest podcasts out there. And we really love our growing extended network in our Note family. We are doing a special little thing for those that are watching. If you're watching you're watching this on Facebook Live or any other of our platforms, we're doing a very special Valentine's Day sale, a 2-for-1 offering. If you sign up for our March virtual workshop in just under a month, March 9th through the 11th, if you sign up for that, that always includes you plus a spouse. We'll throw in tickets to Note Camp for you as well. Note Camp 5.0, which is slated for April 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And we've got some really cool new speakers coming on board as well. We've got some new fresh blood coming to Note Camp. We always try to add a chunk of new speakers to it every time, and so we're pretty stoked. Some of the speakers I've talked to in the last couple of days to be on there, really, really excited about some of the new things that we're going to be featuring on there. But anyway, if you sign up for the virtual workshop, you'll get 2 tickets to Note Camp 5.0. If you're listening to the podcast, all right, this will obviously probably come out after Valentine's Day. I will throw on a special thing here. So stay tuned for the special code that you'll need to use if you go to weclosenotes.com. I'll actually film a special thing for the podcast. So listen on afterwards to the end of the show, and I'll give you a special discount code to help extend that for you guys and gals. All right. But I just wanted to take the time to thank some people. I want to thank some mentors of mine. I wanted to thank Bob Leonetti, who helped me get into the note business. I wanted to thank Ryan Grand, who I learned a lot of stuff from the front end. I want to thank Greg Reed, who was a very big not sponsor, that sounds funny, but a mentor of mine in the last few years. I want to thank Joel Markovitz, who's been a great friend. I want to thank Val Sotir, Marc Gold, Jack Krupey, just to name a few of the guys out there that run funds or we've done a lot of stuff with over the last couple of years. Very, very glad to call them friends, but also mentors and people who bounce a lot of ideas off of. I want to thank Aaron Young, who has really been a great friend. I know he's over in London right now celebrating Valentine's Day with Michelle. I want to thank George Antone. I want to thank Stephen Epstein. George has done a great job with finance and the Bankers Code. He's become a dear friend. I want to thank Stephen Epstein and Mark Huber with Seminar Expansion Services, who've done a tremendous job helping us with marketing. I know I'm going to forget some people here, but I'm going to try my best to get through. I want to thank my staff, Jennifer and Greg and our past staff members, and Nicole and Ryan, who've done a great job over the last 2 years with us here. One person I have to thank who's done just a tremendous job and has always evolved and grown as much as I think I have in the last few years is obviously Stephanie Goodman, our VP of Operations, my Valentine. Just does a great job and always is willing to jump in and do whatever she needs to do to help make things better, and has such a big heart as well for our family and our mentoring students and our mastermind members. We just big shout out to you. A lot of love to you because it's helped. And behind every successful man, there's even a stronger woman who does a lot of things that goes unseen. So big shout out to her as well. If you get a chance to see her at an event, make sure you thank her, because she does a lot of stuff that goes unseen behind the cameras, behind the emails, making sure that everything is running accordingly, that the bills get paid, and gone from there. So big shout out to Stephanie, along with everybody else that I mentioned. If I've forgotten somebody, I apologize. I have to thank Sandy Shaner as well. She's been there as our sales rep earlier on. I have to thank all of our guests from the Note Closers Show, all of our speakers who have been on Note Camp in the past in our virtual workshops. It is you that has helped make us as successful as or more successful than others out there. Thank you for giving of your time, giving of your resources to share your message and help share the Note love with our Note family. So that's all that I've got for you guys today. I want a big shout out to everybody. Big thanks for those that have been around and stuck around. We love you. We want to wish you a very happy Valentine's Day. But going back to the list of 10, I'll give a quick recap for those of you that have maybe joined later. I love the travel, the places that we've been. I love the ability, number 9, that we can do this from anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. 8, I love the inventory, that we have a lot more deal flow than a lot of other places. I love our vendors. I love the people in the note industry. It's a very friendly society. I love number 5, that every day is a bit different in the note business, from raising capital to marketing to doing workouts to speaking to travel. I love helping people, especially on our borrowers who need help, and we're glad to help them out the best we can. I love the money, that we make money at this, what we do. 2, I love our different exit strategies that we have available to us. So it allows us to be able to scratch different itches by still being focused on one thing. And I love, number 1, seeing the changes in the people out there that we're able to help. So once again, guys and gals, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Note Closer Show. If you're listening to the podcast, stay tuned. I'll give you the special discount code that's good for you to get the 2-for-1 special once this episode goes live. So thank you so much. Have a great day, and go out and make something happen. And we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.